Leo Sayer with a fantastic song from the early 80s, Orchard Road, telling the story of a love that he had, he lost, and he found again. Very romantic and a very true story. And whilst I was playing that song, yes, as I said to you, Bobby Purvis, I've just made contact with him from Splinter. He's on the phone. We're going to have a chat. But I just realised, before I even say hello to Bobby, that Bobby and Billy with Splinter toured with Leo Sayer in the early 80s. And if that isn't a link of coincidence, I don't know what is. And maybe Bobby can tell us a little bit about what went on that tour music-wise. But let's wait and see what we can do. Bobby, good afternoon to you, mate.
Hi there. Hi there.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I've been better, but I can't remember when.
Sounds like a gift for a song there, but there you go. Anyway, it's good to talk to you, and thank you very much for just dropping in, because we've got a lot of news to tell the listeners out there and everybody else. First of all, what was it like touring with Leo? Because you did do a good tour with Leo, didn't you?
Yeah, he was a nice guy. He talked a lot of dirty songs, you know.
Please, Bobby, this is a family show, not here.
No, I remember them. I've even wrote a couple of extra verses myself.
Oh, well, there you go. You got to do something when you're locked down under COVID, haven't you?
You have, yeah.
But what was it like to work with? Because, I mean, I did see him live. He came to Norwich in the 90s, and he was a little pack of dynamite. Was he still like that working with him the other side?
Well, yes, what happened on the tour was he actually stole our band. We had a band called the Mechanics, not Mike and the Mechanics. It was a band from Cornwall called the Mechanics, and we used them on our last album that we actually made in 1981. And they were a lovely group of lads, and we produced it at a place called Sawmills. And, I'll get confused with the Cornwall and Devon, There was one of those. It was a place called Foy, St Austell. So
that's in Cornwall.
Forgive me for not knowing which way.
No, that's fine. That's in Cornwall, by the way. St Austell's in Cornwall. Yep.
And so next thing we knew, we got the album finished, and then he stole our backing band to go on tour with.
That's nice.
And they all became rock stars. So me and Billy were like supporting. And we were just me and Billy as normal. And these guys were all dressed up as rockers, and they were all dead hip and all trendy. And I thought, what the hell's happened there, It was a totally different band, I didn't recognise him. And he was great, he just went on and, I can dance. And that was debatable, but he got on and did it.
Yeah, well, he's an artist like yourselves with an enduring legacy, and he's still highly thought of, although he did fall on rather rough times with his wife getting cancer and et cetera,
we were there when she had that. Yeah, well, I remember.
Oh, good grief!
She was a lovely girl. I don't know what went on after that. I don't know if she died or if she was okay.
I don't know. I really, really don't know. So, and obviously it's just something that's come up in the conversation here. But, no, you toured with Leo Sayer and you had a great time. I know, remember you telling me, and that brings us very well onto your next album in the Legacy series, which is Splinter Live in England, 1974 to 1977. Now, we both know that there was never a live album planned, so to actually get this from the archives, and we both know the situation, the mess that was all the songs that was recorded. What do you remember about going live, and how do you remember how you sounded?
Well, I know the Never Went Back album, the first one we did, was actually an album that we made to go on tour. And we wanted to get it down so that we'd have the songs right. And that was like a big rehearsal for the Leo Sayer tour. And that was 1981. But before that, we didn't have any kind of live album planned. But we knew there was people like shows like the Hippodrome Theatre, Birmingham, across the board, really, that had recorded when we did some live theatre work, and it must have all come from there. Well, it's all been put together, And I've heard it. It's quite good for an old geezer looking back 40 years ago, you know. What can I say, you know?
Well, the point is...
The older you get, the better you were.
No, the better you are. But the point is, we've got this live album, and say it's been released on September the 15th, and we're going to play a little track. We're going to play a track in a minute, because we've got a special we know that we've booked with you in August. But how does it feel now? Not that you're an old geezer, because we're just we're just older. We're not old geezers. But how does it feel now, having a live album drawn from your archives, when there was one never originally planned in the first place? You must be quite excited.
Well, I think we should have really, along, you know, when we were at the height of the pinnacle of our career, we should have done a live album then. And all the songs are from the first 3 albums that we did with Dark Horse Records, George House Company, and all the songs, apart from a couple of extra ones we've put in there, are like acoustic versions of those songs. And I wish now, in hindsight, that we'd actually did something more like live Splinter album on our big production albums, you know. But I mean, what do? You can't argue about it. We had a fantastic time. It was a chance in a million that we'd get to work with the best, and I'm talking the best, you know.
Yep.
So we're not going to say no, you know.
No, but obviously now we're here 2021, which is, 30 years since 40 years since you toured with Leo Sayer.
140 years.
No, take the one away, It's only 40, my man. But the point is, then the live album goes back a further 5-6 years. So you're looking at 45 years, and I know that we've done a lot of work here in the next studio pulling the whole thing together, and I can tell you something. The fellow that I was working with, Toddy, he was absolutely amazed that 2 people with a guitar and a harmonica could sound that good. That's what struck him. And don't forget, here is a man that's embroiled in electronic music, heavy bass and drums. I mean, he's a great musician himself, but it really shook him that you 2 could sound as good as you were with just a guitar, possibly 2 now and again, and a harmonica. I mean, what do you feel about that?
Well, that's what we did. You see, I mean, I'm a rubbish guitar player, but what I do is I can make it move, you know. I can make the thing move. And so I'm not a technical player, but I play a 12-string guitar, and it was a full sound. And I think the fact that our voices were so in sync at that time, and we could sort of, you know, we didn't have to try. If I went high, he went low. If I went low, he went high. We just complemented each other, and it filled the whole thing up. I had a couple of kazoos or a mouth organ, and a bit of fun, or, you know, a bit of banter, a bit of like we were the old-fashioned Anton deck, you know, a bit of that, and it's sort of 2 Geordie lads having a go, you know, with a 12-string guitar.
And I think you're absolutely brilliant. As I say, we're going to play a track or 2 now. I'm going to start with the first track. Now, first of all, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about the song, because it happens to be the title track of, your first album. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to hear how it sounds in a minute, but what does that song bring back to you?
Well, it was written, I wrote a lot of songs. I used to do a lot of hitching when I was 16, 17, 18, 19. You know, I used to have girlfriends all over the place. So I had to get there, you see. And I used to sort of sleep in the fields and sleep anywhere I could, in train stations, you name it. And I always played and wrote, and I wrote all the lyrics down, and it's just something you can do. You can't teach anybody to write a song, or you just got to get a feeling of the place you're in and what surrounds you, and try not to make it too boring, you know.
Well, this obviously reflects what you said earlier on about this live album being from your first 3 albums. So what I'd like you to do, Bobby, very kindly please, is would you kindly introduce the first track, which is of course The Place I Love. But I mean, I've just give you the title there, but if you'd like to introduce it, we'll hear, for the benefit of everybody, what you 2 sounded like at the height of your powers.
Okay, right now?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1974, it's Splinter, The Place I Love.
There's a log floating by in the river beside the tree that stands alone. As I lay on my back and I listen to the birds above, with the sun shining down across my face, you know I really wouldn't care if I never went home, 'cause this is the place I love. People can't understand what it does for a man just to wander off alone, to lie beneath the trees and catch the sun. It's the simple things that mean the most, and I really wouldn't care if I never went home, 'cause this is the place I love. You know I really like to come here, you know I really like to stay, you know I really like to spend some time alone. You know I really like to come here, you know I really like to stay. I've let the bus pass, I'm not going home. Time on my hands, I lay down on the land and I look up to the sky. And on a branch above me sits a dove. You know it sings its song so sweetly that I really wouldn't care if I never went home, 'cause this is the place I love. You know I really like to come here, you know I really like to stay, you know I really like to spend some time alone. You know I really like to come here, you know I really like to stay. I'll let the bus pass, I'm not going home. Yeah, you know I really like to come here, you know I really like to stay, you know I really like to spend some time alone. You know I really like to come here, you know I really like to stay. I've let the bus pass, I'm not going home. I've let the bus pass, I'm not going home. I've let the bus pass, I'm not going home.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Bobby, that sounded absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
It's really crisp and clear, and you were right, you know, that really is a full sound, is it not?
It does sound, it sounds good to me, but I'm biased, you know. Like I say, the older you get, the better you were, you know.
No, but I mean, I've heard a lot of live albums from acoustic artists. I mean, I'm not decrying them at all. I mean, James Taylor, Bob Dylan, John Denver, different types, different sorts. But that sound, I mean, you could hear there also the rapport that you were starting to build up with the audience, and I don't want to give too much.
Oh, we always had good, yeah, they loved it. I mean, mate, I've seen the time when we're afraid there were only two people in the room, and one of them started a fight, you know? so we've had bad ones as well.
Well, seconds out, round 3, I think. But anyway, look, I know that you're only here for a short time, and thank you for cutting it out. I'm going to finish this little section because the show finishes in a bit for the first hour. But we'll finish talking to you, actually, and I'll play the track on the first part of the next hour. But I'm going to play Lonely Man. Now, what do you remember about that song?
Well, Lonely Man, I remember, it's too long to go into, but I kind of left the bands and everything, and me and Marilyn, who we weren't married at the time, but we're going to be married, we stayed at Mal Evans' house in Kingston, Henry Sunbury on Thames, and we stayed with Lil and Mal, and we had a really, when I saw the house, I thought, you know, this is all I want out of life. I want a lovely house like this, you know, like 4 bedrooms, nice garden, not a lot to ask, nothing too flash, but just comfortable. And me and Mal, I was playing a song, I was doing Lego actually, and he says, are you not going to write anything? And I said, well, I've got this one here. And I started to play the tune, and I had the chorus, I think I had part of the chorus, maybe being a lonely man, you know. Yep. And I thought, right, I've got that bit. And then Mal says, oh, I like that. And then a week later, he came back and he had about 2 2 verses fully written, you know, which, because I think I had half a first verse and half the chorus, and I had all the melody, you know, I had all the tune.
Yep.
And Mal put these amazing lyrics that fitted, you know, and I thought, oh yeah, this is getting somewhere. Next thing I know, he's played it to George Harrison. George wants it in the film instead of How Can I Tell You by Cat Stevens, and that's the story, humble and true. Take it to pieces and fix it with glue.
Sounds like an advert there for Loctite, but we won't do that. But, Bobby, we're going to play it in the first hour after the news, and the second. I know it's only a 10 or 15-minute time, and I know that your lovely lady, Marilyn, give her our regards, as just come in with the shopping. You've got to get your tea and everything. So can I say can I just say thank you for dropping in today and giving us just 10 minutes or 15 minutes of your time, and it is really wonderful, and I'm looking forward to talking to you for a full hour or so on the programme in August.
It's my pleasure, Nigel, and thank you for all the work you're doing and all the good work you're doing. It's fantastic.
Well,
should be 100 more people like you and would have a good little thing going.
Well, we've got things planned, but Bobby, you look after yourself. Give my regards to Marilyn from here, everybody at the station. You look after yourself, and I'll speak to you later, but we're looking forward to you coming along in August.
Oh, that's lovely. You're more than welcome. Thank you, and thanks to everybody for listening. Cheerio.
Yeah, cheerio. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks, Bobby. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you go. There's Bobby Purvis there, talking live, finishing exactly up for us. So it's up to the news right now. So we'll see you the other side with Lonely Man.
A song that Bobby and a fella called Mal Evans wrote together, which Mal Evans was the roadie for a lot of years. It's called Lonely Man.
The tender eyes of someone very close to you, feeling that we met so long ago. The only smile that somehow keeps me company, it comforts me whenever I feel low. Maybe being a lonely man was my destiny. Holding on to what's past and gone means so much to me. I was just another face you didn't know, just another chance that I let go. Like empty swings, the lonely thoughts of yesterday, count the passing Sundays one by one. I'd give the world to somehow have you here with me, to chase the rainy days behind the sun. Maybe being a lonely man was my destiny. Holding on to what's past and gone means so much to me. I was just another face you didn't know, just another chance that I let go. Die, 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 da, 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 da. Die, die, da, 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 da. Die, 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 da, 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 da. Die, die, da, 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 da. Maybe being a lonely man was my destiny. Holding on to what's past and gone means so much to me. I was just another face you didn't know, just another chance that I let go. I understand the knowing look you gave to me, reflecting what is shown within my eyes. I'm hoping that your image is reality, wanting first impressions not to lie. Maybe you what's past and gone means so much to me. I was just another face you didn't know. Just another chance that I let go. Just another chance that I let go.